The way that you use the word institutions is really weird. You use it in situations like a relationship institution is the set of practices and knowledge about how to interact with a given person. Like if you have a relationship institution between you and another person.
And expectations.
Expectations, yeah. And whereas most people think of institutions like an old building with outdated bookkeeping, I don't know.
Right. Well, there's an institution as an old building, which Popper would disagree with. So he would say that the institutions are ideas. I'm not sure to the extent to which Popper would use the word institutions or even have the concept institutions for all possible domains of thought, as I would. I would say there are institutions in one's mind and in groups of people's minds that determine for the moment how they will interact, what they will get out of each other's existence and communication and so on. So yes, I use that. I'm not sure that, I don't know whether Popper would use it like that. I don't care, of course.
So you specifically use institutions to mean a broad thing of, is it like set of existing knowledge and practices and expectations? And
yes, especially knowledge and practices and expectations about how other knowledge and practices and expectations will be treated.
How is this different from rules of thumb?
Well, rules of thumb could be anything. You can have a rule of thumb that green means go and red means stop.
So an institution is something like, you could think of it like a filter. So if you've got some object level thing and you're trying to decide between different object level things, then you might have a more meta level institution for making that decision.
Yes.
And so what's an example of that?
Well, so for example, if I'm standing in the bus queue and somebody pushes in front of me, that will invoke or activate certain institutions about how people should behave in bus queues, how if they don't, what they can expect other people to do, what you can expect the bus driver to do, and so on. And it also includes political institutions, because you'll be thinking that you're entitled to so and so, and the other person isn't or is. The other person could be disabled, in which case the institutions would say they should go first, and so on.
So is it should be fun a bit of institution?
Yes.
And what's the institutions that it is part of? It is a bit of.
Well, it's.
So you wouldn't say it's an institution in itself.
So an institution is all sorts of theories participate in implementing or judging the principle. It should be fun. To call something an institution, and really nothing hangs by what you call it, but I would call something an institution if it's to do with how we judge and expect things. So if you have that principle and you then or you have that institution, what that means is that you are in the state of mind where if something isn't fun, it'll raise a flag. And someone who doesn't, someone who says, what would Jesus do, or whatever, would simply wouldn't raise a flag. Their flag would be raised by something completely different.